we are not in 2025. Month comes from the word moon, moonth. The moon has a 28-day moon cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. 13 lunar cycles every year, which means our calendar has a missing month, which means we don't know what year we're actually in. This is gonna blow your mind. The sky is a clock. The sun tells the time of the day. The moon tells the day of the month. The stars tell you the month of the year. The sky above our head is intelligent. Everything on earth is matter. Everything above us is spirit. That's why they're floating. They're not rocks you can land on. The Gregorian calendar was made for slaves. Calendar comes from calends, the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. So what does all of this actually mean, and why did they do it? They made this fake calendar to cut off our connection with our celestial intelligence above and keep our mind, body and spirit out of rhythm with these cycles. We must live in harmony with the cycles above us. You can create abundance in your life with using the moon to your advantage. All of my students know that. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never turned water into wine. This is gonna blow your mind. Jesus spoke all things to the crowd in parables. Matthew 13:34. It's a symbolic and allegorical story about you turning water into wine. Fire is masculine. Water is feminine. Masculine is intellect. Feminine is emotion. Water is symbolic for emotion. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Emotion is the language of the soul. Emotions are communication from your soul. If you are jealous of someone, this is your soul telling you where you need to be in life. Every fear you have is showing you an obstacle for you to grow, to expand into your life purpose. Water into wine, symbolic in turning negative emotions into growth and expansion, transmuting hate into love, jealousy into your reality. Jesus represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness in physical form. Jesus tells you, whatever I can do, you can do better in John 14:12. Jesus is you. Baptism is symbolic of moving from earth into water, the second stage of consciousness, truth. Dunking your head in water won't do anything. Baptism happens within. There's a secret meaning behind 666. 666 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of creation and consciousness. Thoughts, emotions, and actions. These 3 things have created your life. This is where it gets scary. The number 6 represents the cube. And this material world is created in cubes. Forwards, down, up, backwards, left, and right. 6 represents the material world. 666 represents your thought, emotions, and actions all going towards your material body and material pleasure. Cutting yourself off from spirituality. Red is the slowest vibrational frequency, and it represents chaotic and intense emotions like hate and anger. You are the devil. It's not a real person. It's the lower aspects of the human mind. The voice we hear in our head that tells us to do bad things is not the devil. It's an aspect of your mind. He has a goat head. Goats are ground animals. They represent the lower self. Angels have wings, which represent the higher self. The number one mistake people make is that they take people's hate personally. You must understand that people's hateful comments are just reflections of their negative state of mind, their negative state of consciousness. I'm hated by millions of people, and if I took it personally, I wouldn't be here today. Please don't let other external things manipulate your internal world. If you can change your inner world to feel a certain thing, you can produce effect on your outer world. So don't let no one change your inner world. Have an amazing day. Adam and Eve is a sexual story. When we are born, we have a pure consciousness and we have no ability to reproduce life. As we grow older, we gain the power of creation. Our sexual energy is activated and turning us into an adult. We gain the ability to produce life. And this sacred power can be misused as it is a sacred force within you. Eve is feminine, she's the emotion. Adam is masculine, he's the action. The serpent is the deceiving sexual urge. This is a symbolic story of how we lose pure consciousness and we gain the consciousness of good and evil. Our consciousness splits into the ego and the shadow, into the higher and the lower self. But this is not bad. It's a natural cycle of human consciousness. But we need to wake up from it and find our way back to the Garden of Eden. Don't lose yourself in material lust and material pleasures. They'll leave you feeling empty and unsatisfied. Instead, save your sexual energy, master your mind and control your emotions. And don't let external things control your inner world. And that's how we find our way back to the Garden of Eden, reaching a pure state of consciousness, meanwhile knowing the knowledge of good and evil. The Bible is the greatest psychological text ever written. This sign is not the devil horns, it's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. See the man standing on the moon. This represents conquering the emotion, and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the five senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. I found some secret codes in the Bible. The Bible contains numerology, and in Revelation 14, it states 144,000 will go to heaven. 144 adds up to 9. The 9th letter in the English alphabet is I. God's name Yahweh means I am. This is our body. I is our consciousness. 9 is the number of consciousness. Let's take it deeper. A lamb standing on Mount Zion. The lamb represents Aries. Aries rules the head, and this is the lamb horns in our brain. Holy Mount Zion is our spine. The lamb is on top of Mount Zion with the 144,000, which is 9, which is consciousness. And they had the Father's name written on their forehead. Our forehead is where our consciousness is. 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth represent the ones who found their consciousness. 144,000 sang a new song. New song is a new state of awakened consciousness. Sing a new song, awaken to your consciousness, not your body. Heaven is a state of consciousness. This book will literally tell you everything. Today is a full moon, and this is why I don't eat or scroll on my phone on this day. The sun is our conscious mind. The moon is our subconscious mind. Just like the moon phases have these cycles, so does our consciousness. We go through mood swings and different emotions and thoughts all the time. If you didn't already know, your subconscious mind controls 90% of your daily basis thoughts and actions. The new moon is when your subconscious mind is mainly closed. However, a full moon is when the subconscious mind is more accessible during this phase. This is the best time to reprogram your subconscious and break your old habits. I don't do anything that is highly addictive on this specific day. Instead, I use my conscious mind to think, feel, and imagine my specific reality that I want on this day. And this will impress this reality on my subconscious. And my subconscious will start to believe I've already got the reality, which will then create effect in my external reality. This is why you always see witches with a full moon behind their head, because this is the best time to do a ritual of implanting new seeds into your consciousness so they can grow into a beautiful reality. And this is also the reason why you always get good ideas at nighttime, because the daytime is survival mode, it's conscious. The nighttime's our subconscious, imagination. Ever wondered why your middle finger's considered swearing? There's a hidden element that they've hid from you called ether. 5 points on the body, 5 elements. 5 fingers, 5 elements. They demonized your middle finger because it's ether. But what exactly is the ether? Ether is like the blueprint to all physical creation. They covered up the ether by calling it dark matter. It's where all energy comes from and returns back to. Think of it as an eternal water of life feeding everything with energy. Yes, the ether can provide free 0-point energy, but that is not the biggest secret. The biggest secret about the ether is that our minds can manifest whatever we project into it into a reality. This is what the Matrix is showing you with these codes. You can change the codes to reality by changing your inner consciousness. The ether acts as a barrier from the imagination plane astral into the physical plane. Just look at the words that we use together. Ether. There's so much more that goes into this. Make sure to follow me. The Twin Towers are an 11. Flight 11 was hijacked. New York is the 11th state. There were 11 crew members on the flight. 9/11 adds up to an 11. New York in gematria adds up to 111. Freemasonic pillars are an 11. With the black and white checkered board, black and white add up to 11. 11, 11. Black is matter, white is spirit. Was this just a Masonic ritual? I'm not making any claims, but I'm just pointing things out. They are trapping your soul in the earth. It's a soul system, not a solar system. We start in the stars and we descend through the 7 planets, which give you the 7 chakras, the 7 colors, 7 days of creation, the 7 days of the week, Saturday for Saturn, Monday for the moon, Sunday for the sun. This is where we come from, unconditioned consciousness. Our consciousness falls and conditions into these states to be created in this world. Each one of us is a star. Q, man, light, manifested in physical form. That's why we say sister, mister, monster, stir is star. And when you're famous, you're a star. Ancient paintings of Jesus show a star being descended down. Now you know the real reason why Paramount show the stars descending down, going to the mountain. Freemasons show the path back to the stars. Each one of us is God experiencing himself in a divided state. But the archons in this world brainwash your mind to trap your soul in here. When you learn the language of symbolism, your life will completely change. Why is it Freemasons always place the East at the top of their artwork? I'm going to decode the symbolism for you. At the bottom of the painting, we have checkered board floors. This is the base. This is the beginning. Black is material. White is spiritual. The physical world is made by spirit and matter combined. This represents the beginning of the Mason's journey when he lives in illusion and identifies himself with the physical body. Now this is why you see the checkered floor in music all the time, because they're using music to produce illusions. This is a blueprint to produce a temple, and these are the tools to create the temple. Not a physical temple, a temple within our own mind. These tools represent the tools to reconstruct our inner world, to change our belief system, limiting beliefs and mental blockages. We must build a temple in the 3 aspects of our consciousness: thought, emotion, action. Once we have reconstructed and built a temple of moral law and integrity and changed our belief systems within our own mind and consciousness, we can then start the journey to enlightenment. This ladder is the ladder of climbing to higher consciousness, going from the illusion of the material world up to enlightenment and understanding higher levels of reality. And no, I'm not a Freemason, I've just studied their symbols. When you can read symbolism, it will change your life. Why is it the ancients always wore silver? This is gonna blow your mind. Your brain and your body is a bioelectric system. Your body is basically a technological machine which serves as an interface that allows consciousness to interact with the 3D world. Your body's flow of ions and electrons helps to ensure that your body's bioelectric machinery operates harmoniously and supports vital functions. Which is why the ancients wore silver and precious metals, because they enhance the flow of ions and electrons, which can enhance the flow of electricity within your body, making your brain to process information quicker. You are an electromagnetic machine. The human body is a battery. This is why we have to charge ourselves constantly with energy. Silver is said to be one of the best energy conductors. Silver has the ability to minimize electrical resistance, which improves cellular communication and energy flow. This is the original reason why humans used to wear jewelry. Not to enhance our looks, but to enhance the functions of our electrical bodies. If you have neck, wrist, or ankle pain, you would wear a specific metal around this area. Sun is electric, the moon is magnetic, male and female, fire and water. The sun gives you energy, it's a positive charge. The moon is negatively charged, taking away your energy. Yin and yang. The earth is darkness, it produces no light of its own. All of the light comes from above, from the etheric and astral plane. The earth is matter, above is spirit. The sun is floating because it's in the etheric plane. As above, so below. All the life comes from above. That's why all religions stem back to the worshipping of the stars. Because the material plane is only alive because of the etheric life force. That's why Jesus is the risen savior. He is the sun with the 12 disciples, 12 zodiac signs. And the sun raises every day and saves you. Jesus was not a real person, but an astrological code. You need to understand the simulation. Everything you feel is not real, and everything you see is an illusion. Everything you're experiencing is a simulation produced by your nervous system. This laptop is not solid, it's just a bunch of atoms placed together. And the reason my finger doesn't go through the laptop is the electrical fields of the atoms in the laptop are repelling the electrical fields in my finger. What you feel when touching something is your nervous system decoding the electrical waves that you've come into contact with. You're not feeling the external world. You're feeling electrical impulses decoded by your brain. They'll never tell you this, but your brain is an energy decelerator. Everything outside of you is energy. What you see is your brain slowing down this energy outside of you into a visual image that you can perceive. Everything outside of you is fake. The only thing that is real is your consciousness. Material world trick, matrix. Hindus call this Maya, the illusion of the world. Kabbalists call the world the veil that hides your soul. And the reason why the world's so lost and depressed today, because we're looking for ourselves in the outer world. None of the short-term pleasures that the material world offers can ever satisfy your soul. True happiness comes from within. Stop seeking validation in your outer reality. Go within yourself and find happiness within. The solution to the world is meditation. Freemasons wear this symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is for the mother, because the woman holds a portal, a stargate into the physical world. That's why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter, all M's. Once you are made into matter in the womb, she then delivers the male. Every single one of us came through the mother into the physical world. That's why they're so important. Feminine, nin is 9. Masculine, lin is line. 1 and 9 adds up to 10, which is the binary code of all creation. 0 is the cosmic womb. 1 is the masculine pillar. These are the only two numbers that truly exist. That's why man adds up to 10, and so does Adam. Because we are made in perfection with the numbers. 6, 9. 6 is physical matter, the cube. 9 is spirit, spirit and matter combined. The woman combines your spirit with your physical body. If you feel lost and don't understand reality, read this book. Did you know the sun setting is the symbol for Libra? And the scales of Libra represent the balancing of the sun between the summer and the winter. A yearly cycle is a daily cycle. Spring is the morning, summer is midday, Libra is the evening, winter is the nighttime. And did you know your body is ruled by the zodiac signs? Libra rules your core, and the muscles in your core help anchoring your center of gravity, which gives you the ability to balance yourself, just like how Libra is the balancing scales. There's no way this is all just a coincidence. This is evidence that we live in a beautifully designed world. That the sun's rhythm and balance manifested in your body as the balancing core. And this is why wisdom is wealth. Did you know baptism is a scam? To trick you and to make you believe that you're going to be saved. And the true baptism happens within you. We have 4 stages of human consciousness. Earth, stage 1. This is when we're in a survival state of consciousness. Water, stage 2. The truth in cleansing. Dunking your head in water is symbolic for cleansing yourself from the survival animalistic state. And once we've cleansed ourselves, we have the fire stage, the awakening, the spiritual awakening. Then once we awaken, we go to the air, stage 4 of self-mastery. Dunking your head in water will not save you from anything. You must save yourself from the lower mind, from the animalistic state of consciousness. Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, Corinthians 15:50. It means your body cannot enter the kingdom of God. Your emotions, spirit and mind can, which means heaven and hell is a mind state, not a real place. Theologians 4:17, you meet the Lord in the air. You meet the Lord in the highest stage of consciousness, the mind, the air, the self-mastery. No man in the sky going to save you. Religion want you to believe this so you give away your power. They don't want you mastering yourself. They want you weak. Find the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2 in my bio. Did you know doing this gesture is the Antichrist? Performing this produces the upside down cross. So you touch the head down to the heart, then tap both shoulders, which is cutting the connection between the head and the heart. It symbolizes cutting the connection between the mind and the soul. And the soul is pure love. You know when you hurt someone and you can feel that you've done something wrong inside your heart? That's because your soul is encoded with God's law of love. They don't want us connected with our soul intelligence. The intelligence within you that tells you the right thing to do at all times. This is why we say, follow your heart. And that Christ may dwell in your heart. Because the heart is the brain for the soul. And the brain is the temple for the mind. The earth needs to connect more with their heart. Because love is the unifying force that brings us all together. This cartoon shows you that you are far more than your physical body. Humanity has lost this ability to activate their spirit, or the astral body, fully enslaving us in this physical plane.
Okay. Man, this is screwy. Maybe it's the can of beans we had for dinner. Looks, homey. Whoa! Oh, right.
Emojis are demons. Demons are spirits. In magic, you use sigils to invoke spirits and demons. But what exactly is a spirit? A spirit is just a non-physical force or energy. Emotion is energy in motion. Motion is a spirit. Emojis are sigils which invoke specific spirits or emotions. This sigil invokes the spirit of happiness. The spirit invokes the spirit of frustration and anger. Just by looking at these emojis or sigils, they change energy in your consciousness. This is invoking energy within you. A demon is just a negative spirit, a negative emotion which possesses you, possesses your heart and your energy field, making you feel a certain way. You're an electromagnetic being with the power to invoke energy. You lot have been going crazy recently. We're nearly sold out on the Book of Wisdom. There is limited available. Is it just me, or does the world seem as if it's losing its color? There's even been images of this taken in 2021 compared to 2023. Who remembers seeing the sun as a yellow ball of energy? Now we just have this white light. Like, what are they doing? Personally, I think this is the result of weather manipulation, geoengineering, EMF towers, and pollution. As a child, I remember sitting in nature and you would be covered in insects. Now, when you go into nature, you hardly see any. Let me know if you can relate in the comments. Elon Musk with the Omega symbol. What does this mean? Omega is the last letter of the Greek alphabet. It represents the end. This is the 24th letter of the Greek alphabet. Last year was 2024. This was the end. 2025 is the new beginning. These are just some of the codes that the elite speak to us through symbolism. Look at the dollar bill. The dollar bill has an omega on it, representing the last physical currency we will have before moving towards a digital currency. They show us these things through symbolism before they actually do it. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis represents the tongue. He's a dog with the barking because the power of life and death is in the tongue. Falcon of Horus is the inner brainstem. Osiris, the god of death and the underworld. He represents the reptilian brain, hence why he's green and has reptiles next to him. The reptilian brain is when our consciousness exists in death because we don't think. Horus with the circle on his head represents the limbic system in the brain. Amun-Ra is the hippocampus in the brain. Ra is where we get RAM. Computer has a RAM for memory, and the hippocampus in the brain is all to do with memory. This is the Lamb of God. Thoth, the god of wisdom, the one who preserves the ancient wisdom. Ibis bird is the sternum, which is the chest, which contains the treasure, which is our soul, our heart. Our heart contains the sacred knowledge. Sternum protects the heart, the treasure. He preserves the wisdom. The Ankh is the portal into the physical world, the uterus. The Bible even tells you that animals are deeply symbolic. Job 12:7. Ask the beasts of the field and they will teach you, the birds of heaven and they will tell you. Because each animal represents a part of the human experience. Snakes represent the wave of energy. The Egyptians saw each body part had a specific role in the human experience. And these parts of our body are very sacred. If you want to learn more, then read the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. Ever wondered why graduates wear this hat? The hat is a square and a circle. The square created by the square, the circle created by the compass, which is the Freemasonic square and compass. The circle is eternal, no beginning, no end. The square creates the square, which is beginning and end. Spirit and matter, mind over matter, the compass over the square. But in this case, we have the square over the circle, which represents matter over the spirit. The graduation cap symbolizes dominance of matter over spirit, representing the conditioning imposed by Saturnic energy. Hence why it's a black cap for the black cube of Saturn. That's why judges wear a black robe, representing reinforcement and limitation. This is not a coincidence. Is university just conditioning to limit the human mind? Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo when the sun is powerful, radiant and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman of Virgo the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season. Luke, Mark, John and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body. Summer is our spirit. Fall is our emotions. Winter. Orgasms are ruining your life. When you release, you produce dopamine. Dopamine is the brain's reward system. When you release, you get a spike in dopamine, feeling amazing. This tells your body that you have achieved something. Then your dopamine levels plunge. If you have an orgasm every day, then you are tricking your brain and body that you have achieved something because you're activating the brain's reward system. This is why you feel lazy, tired, and unmotivated to do anything with your life because your body already feels accomplished and achieved something. When you stop watching these dirty websites, then your brain will start to seek dopamine in other things, like writing a book or making something out your life. Sex is the best possible feeling that the human body can feel. And if you experience this feeling every day, then you will numb yourself to the little things in life that you won't be able to enjoy. Because you're giving yourself the epitome of feelings. When you stop watching porn and releasing, your life will change. Freemasons are satanic according to Christians, yet King James, who commissioned the Bible, was a Freemason. He even wrote a book on demonology, what Christians call witchcraft. So they're believing a book which was written by a Freemason. We live in a scripted reality. The Bible has been altered to match the events playing out today, making it seem like a divine prophecy when it's actually a long-term plan. Revelation, it's not unfolding naturally, it was scripted by those in power. They've been following the plan for generations. So the question is, are you following the script or seeing through the illusion? Don't make this mistake. When I woke up spiritually, I went straight into chakras, energy work, and cleansing my aura. I thought this was the key, but I was wrong. The only thing that truly matters is mastering the mind. When you train your mind, you gain control over your emotions, your body, and your energy. You don't have to force your vibration to rise or try to balance your chakras. They naturally align when the mind is in check. Don't get lost in the external. Focus on your mind. Once you master that, everything else follows. Your spirit, your body, and your soul will fall into place. The human body is liquid crystal. There are CIA documents which reveal that. Radios use crystals to pick up frequencies and turn them into sound. Your body works the same way. Your pineal gland has crystalline structures that act like an antenna. Your body is a radio, tuning into the infinite stream of consciousness, the mind of God. We are all God in human form, experiencing life through the illusion of separation. God created the 3D world to experience himself instead of the oneness. You don't need to go to church to connect with God. You are God. The key is going within through breathwork, meditation, and inner awareness. Religion was made to externalize this truth to keep you away from your own divine power. Satan is Saturn. 666, the mark of the beast. On the North Pole of Saturn, you have the cube. Add up all the sides, you get 6 points, 6 triangles, 6 sides. 666. We live in a soul system, not a solar system. We start in the stars and then we incarnate through Saturn. Saturn materializes our soul into the 666 carbon suit. All life forms are based on the bonding properties of carbon. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 666. The body is the beast. The Bible tells you Satan is the god of this world, and he has blinded the minds of those who do not believe. Because when our soul incarnates through these 7 celestial spheres, we forget who we are before this lifetime. The symbol for Saturn is even showing you this. All of the planet symbols symbols are made out of the Holy Trinity, the sun, the moon, and the cross for earth. The Saturn symbol is the earth cross and the moon crescent. Earth is matter, moon is mind, sun is soul. The Saturn symbol is showing you earth over moon, matter over mind, when it should be mind over matter. We incarnate into this world so we can restrict our mind, because in the dimensions of the mind and imagination we can think and it comes into manifestation instantly. But this plane limits us. Sega Saturn is a game, the Nintendo GameCube. This is why we say think outside the box, because you are not your physical body. And this is the box they're trying to trap us in, the physical dimension. Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. This is the ancient Sumerians. A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. Even ancient Christians are seen with the same symbolism. We even see this on the tarot card as well. The lion is Leo, the man is Aquarius, the eagle an old symbol for Scorpio, and the bull is Taurus. In esoteric teachings, they teach you that you have 4 bodies, not one. You have a physical body, an emotional body, a spiritual body, and a mental body. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. Aquarius is an air sign, which is the mind. These ancient creatures were not real, they're symbolic, and they're showing you the 4 bodies of the soul. Our soul is incarnated into these 4 separate bodies. Hence why Jesus has the 4 Gospels. This mythical creature is not a mythical creature, but a symbol of your soul. The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and the spiritual body. The bull, the ox, the man, and the lion, all in one creature, which is the soul incarnated into the 4 bodies. This is why the earth symbol is a cross and with the 4 sections and a circle. I think this is going to change how we see ancient civilizations. They knew the sacred science of the soul. If you look at the Matrix, Neo's plugged in on the back of his neck, right into the reptilian brain. This part of the brain doesn't think, just reacts. It's all about survival, running on pure instinct, just like everyone trapped in the Matrix. When Neo is unplugged, he's freed from the reptilian brain. His name Neo represents the neocortex, the part of the brain that allows critical thinking, learning, and expansion. That's the real way of escaping the Matrix, overcoming fear, breaking free from the programming, and activating the higher consciousness. Neo worked at a place called metacortex for a reason. This is all about transcending the lower mind and mastering the self to the higher parts of the brain and human potential. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Every religion has a sacred river. For the Egyptians, it's the river Nile. For the Christians, it's the Jordan River. This river is the human spinal cord. The brain produces cerebrospinal fluid through the pineal and the pituitary gland. When the moon enters your sun sign, the cerebrospinal fluid falls down the spine every month to regulate the systems of the body. Jesus was in Nazareth with Joseph and Mary. Joseph the pineal, Mary the pituitary. Jesus then travels down the Jordan River, your spine, and goes to Bethlehem, your sacrum bone. Joseph and Mary are waiting for Jesus' return, which is the brain waiting for the oil to return back up the spine. And when Jesus returns back up the Jordan River, the spine, to Joseph and Mary, he's crucified in Golgotha, which translates to a place in the skull, at the age 33, because there are 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine. So this process of Jesus is symbolic of raising the cerebrospinal fluid back to your brain. This process activates dormant parts of the brain that were never activated before, making the brain process information quicker and working more efficiently. The whole Bible is a spiritually encoded text on how to reach the higher human potential. The Symbolism Masterclass opens tomorrow. There are limited spaces. Lucifer is Venus. Lucifer in the Bible is the son of the morning, or the morning star. Just before the sunrise every morning, Venus shows up. Venus is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer, or Venus, governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer, or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. Physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The Matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Santa is Satan. So this is Santa with the reindeers, and this is the god Saturn, also known as Saturno. The Roman god Santa is always depicted with a long grey beard, holding a scythe in his hand because he's the god of harvesting and time. In ancient Rome, they celebrated something called Saturnalia, a festival dedicated to the god Saturn. And this took place in December, just like Christmas. The summer times governed by the sun, the winter times governed by Saturn. Summer is life, the winter is death. December and winter is when the most deaths occur. So many people die in December. This is when Saturn harvests the souls. Christmas is actually Saturnalia, which is a celebration of death. Don't you think it's weird how we celebrate the winter death instead of having a celebration in the summer life? Symbolism literally doesn't lie. The word Saturn is Satan. Now, of course, Saturn is not a real human with a long beard. This is all symbolic. The Pope is opening 5 portals. These are the locations of them. Connecting the dots of these locations creates the sigil of Lucifer. This is going to blow your mind. The sigil of Lucifer is your brain's visual field with the eyes. You don't see into reality. Light enters the eyes and an image is produced in your brain. Everything outside of you is just energy. Your brain turns it into a reality you can interact with. These rituals are all to do with perception. That's why he's opening 5 doors for your 5 senses. 5 points on the body, 5 toes, 5 fingers. 5 is the portal that connects spirit with matter, consciousness interacting with the material world. The Pope is not opening spiritual portals for demons. This was all a psyop. The portal they're opening is a negative portal in your own mind. This ritual was to create fear in our minds to make us project it into the reality. Because the physical world is just an externalization of our inner consciousness. By planting fear in the collective minds and projecting this reality to keep us distracted. This is what Lucifer is. Lucifer is you, your consciousness, your divine self, falling for the material tricks. Matrix. This is just another distraction to install fear into your mind. Freemasons worship a secret god, and this is the name of him. I'm going to decode the symbolism so you can understand it. This represents God's consciousness, and it streams down to 4 sections for the 4 bodies of God: a lion, a bull, a man, and an eagle. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac: Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, Scorpio the eagle, Aquarius the man. You see this in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The man, the eagle, the lion, and the bull surrounding Jesus. The 4 fixed signs represent the 4 bodies of consciousness. Aquarius is an air symbol, which is the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. This is God's consciousness streaming down to Yahweh. Yahweh, the name of God, means I am. God's consciousness goes to I am. I am goes into the 4 bodies of your consciousness: the body, the mind, the spirit, and emotion. Every single one of us are an extension of the divine presence of the universe. Jesus actually represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness. Stop worshipping Jesus and embody his qualities into your life so you can live like God. The church has just muddled this up and created a religion so you give away your power. Secret God of the Freemasons is the self. This is why they all focus on self-mastery to achieving high states of consciousness. Why is it the ancient gods all carry this bag alongside with a pine cone? Even the Pope carries a pine cone. Vatican has the pine cone with the dome. Bags are the carrier of things and they can be passed on, and it's always carried in their left hand. In the Kabbalah, the right represents wisdom, the left represents knowledge. This represents the carrier of secret knowledge, of how to activate the pine cone. The left is the knowledge, the right is the applied knowledge, wisdom. Pine cones can be open or they can be closed. Pine is pin, which is the pineal gland. a spiritual gland in the brain which acts as an antenna for our consciousness. You have a physical body and a spiritual body, but most humans are stuck in their physical form. This bag is the secret knowledge of how to activate our spiritual body by activating our pineal gland, going from asleep to awakened, from darkness to the light, from hell to heaven. Pineal gland is not the third eye. Pineal gland is an antenna, a receiver of consciousness. The mind is the third eye. I have a free guide of activating the inner eye on my website. This guide contains teachings from my university. I'm looking for serious students who are interested in occult and esoteric teachings to join my community. We are not in 2025. Month comes from the word moon, moonth. The moon has a 28-day moon cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. 13 lunar cycles every year, which means our calendar has a missing month, which means we don't know what year we're actually in. This is gonna blow your mind. The sky is a clock. The sun tells the time of the day. The moon tells the day of the month. The stars tell you the month of the year. The sky above our head is intelligent. Everything on earth is matter. Everything above us is spirit. That's why they're floating. They're not rocks you can land on. The Gregorian calendar was made for slaves. Calendar comes from calends, the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. So what does all of this actually mean, and why did they do it? They made this fake calendar to cut off our connection with our celestial intelligence above and keep our mind, body and spirit out of rhythm with these cycles. We must live in harmony with the cycles above us. You can create abundance in your life with using the moon to your advantage. All of my students know that. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never turned water into wine. This is gonna blow your mind. Jesus spoke all things to the crowd in parables. Matthew 13:34. It's a symbolic and allegorical story about you turning water into wine. Fire is masculine. Water is feminine. Masculine is intellect. Feminine is emotion. Water is symbolic for emotion. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Emotion is the language of the soul. Emotions are communication from your soul. If you are jealous of someone, this is your soul telling you where you need to be in life. Every fear you have is showing you an obstacle for you to grow, to expand into your life purpose. Water into wine, symbolic in turning negative emotions into growth and expansion, transmuting hate into love, jealousy into your reality. Jesus represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness in physical form. Jesus tells you, whatever I can do, you can do better in John 14:12. Jesus is you. Baptism is symbolic of moving from earth into water, the second stage of consciousness, truth. Dunking your head in water won't do anything. Baptism happens within. Money is a spell. That's why the word money has mon within it, which is moon. The moon represents your subconscious. The subconscious controls every system of your body without you being consciously aware of it. Money is just a piece of paper with no value, but your belief in your subconscious gives this piece of paper value, and this belief they installed in you is controlling your life. You are under its spell. A spell is not casted with wands like these movies show you. A spell is something someone's installed into your subconscious mind, and that belief they installed is controlling you. This is what it means to be under a spell. You break the spell by reprogramming your subconscious belief. We all wake up and believe that this piece of paper has no value. Then we have broken the spell. Magic is real. Teach all of this in my university. Government is government. Ment means mental or the mind. They govern the mind, mind control. They don't want to govern your body. They govern the mind because it's the root cause of reality. This pen, this glove, this book was a thought in the mind before it was physical. By manipulating your belief system, they shape and mold the physical world. Money is just a physical object, but the belief gives it power. If we woke up tomorrow and believed this had no value, it would have no value. You can create your own reality through your belief system. Your physical reality is a result of every thought you thought in the past. Your life is your mind turned outwardly. You are God. Yahweh in Hebrew forms the body. The 4 Hebrew letters are the 4 elements, which represent your 4 bodies. Earth is the physical body. Water is the emotional body. Fire is the spirit. Air is the mind. Sound of Yahweh is the inhale and exhale of breath. Pause the video and breathe and you can hear it. Yahweh in Hebrew means I am. Jesus in French means I am. Yahweh adds up to 26. You have 206 bones in the body. You have sulfur bridges every 10,565 in your DNA strands, which in Hebrew gematria creates Yahweh. Jesus never existed. You are Jesus. You are God made flesh. Demon is D-mon. Mon is moon, meaning emotion. D means negative. A demon is a negative emotion, which possess your mind, body, and spirit. These entities are created by your own thought forms. You feed them by giving them mental and emotional energy. Every addiction you have is an astral entity that you have created. The more thoughts and emotions that you give to these entities, the stronger impact they have over your physical body. I, Magi Nation. You are a magician bringing thought and emotions into physical reality. You've been doing magic your whole life. The truth about the pineal gland. It's not the third eye, it's the first eye. It is an eye. When you imagine something in your head and you see that image, that is that mind's eye seeing this image. You're a multidimensional being and your third eye has access to the astral plane. So when you imagine something in your head, you are literally creating out of astral matter. This is the dream world also. This is why your heel is hell and your head is heaven, because your head has access to the astral plane. The pineal gland has physioluminescent crystalline jagged shaped cells on it, which emits and reflects light. The more you activate your mind's eye through imagination, the lighter your mind becomes. This is why we say enlightenment. And that's why we have the Illuminati, which is illumination of the mind. It's both a material and a spiritual gland. This is why Jacob in the Bible calls the place Peniel, where he's seen God face to face. Peniel is the pineal gland of your brain. I'll be hosting a live call tomorrow in my universe. Lucifer is Venus. Lucifer in the Bible is the son of the morning, or the morning star. Just before the sunrise every morning, Venus shows up. Venus is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer or Venus governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. Physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The Matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Stop chasing low-level pleasures and learn to transform yourself to find your power. Start your transformation today before the price increases for the university. Have you ever wondered why the word ship is at the end of everything? There's a hidden spell behind every word. Your body is 60% water, and you were born through your mother's waters. When a ship pulls up to its bay, it's called the birth canal. The ship gives birth to the products on the ship. When the ship arrives, it gets a certificate of manifest certifying all the products on the ship. When you arrive in your mother's water, you get a certificate of manifest, which is your birth certificate, because you are a product to the system. On that birth certificate, there's a date. And that date is the Gregorian calendar, which is a copyrighted timeline created by Pope Gregory. Therefore, on paper, your name is a corporation and it's signed to a copyrighted timeline. When you get a letter and your name is in full capital letters, that's your corporation, not you. You can't tax a physical body, but you can tax a corporation. You are the I am, and your consciousness is identifying itself with the corporation, which is attached to the system. The word calendar comes from calends, which is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay their tax. God's calendar is a 28-day moon cycle. They made an artificial calendar to control you. Bank is a river bank, and money is water. That's why money in the bank is called a currency, because the banks direct the flow of the current. And that's why we call it liquidity. The English language is a giant spell to keep you attached to the system. Sex is sacred energy exchange. Your DNA and energy is exchanged, creating an emotional bond on the astral plane, which connects your soul with their soul, their emotions with your emotions. Don't have sex with just anyone. Their trauma and emotions can affect you. Sex is a sacred ritual which invokes a soul into the physical world, because the woman holds a portal and the man holds the key to open the portal from the astral into the physical plane. Performing sex with a negative mindset will invoke a negative soul. You must perform the ritual properly. Don't waste your sexual energy. This energy creates a human life. Transmute it to create something else. You shouldn't release unless you're making a baby. Releasing is making you mineral deficient and flooding your brain with dopamine, which is the brain's reward system. Releasing is tricking yourself that you've achieved something. This is why you have no drive, no passion, no energy, because you're tricking your brain that you've achieved something already. Women store DNA from every man they've made love with, which could even affect their offspring. In order for creation, there must be destruction. A woman goes through pain to give birth to a beautiful child. Every time you release, you're killing your creativity, your drive. Don't have sex with just anyone, and don't release your fluids. Mineral deficiency is linked to balding. I'll see you inside of Ethereal University. If you join now, you get a free sexual alchemy course before the price goes. Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo, when the sun is powerful, radiant and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo, the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman, a Virgo, the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio, with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season: Luke, Mark, John and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body, summer is our spirit, fall is our emotions, winter. Man managed to prove and reveal the terrible truth that we are all being watched. He conducted a simple experiment on Google Maps and its traffic congestion feature. Simon Weckert achieved this by collecting a total of 99 phones from friends, rental companies and family. He then placed all of these phones in a cart and walked along the roads of Germany, which had virtually no traffic. Despite the lack of traffic, his phone showed that there was heavy amounts of traffic on the roads that he was walking on. From this, Simon calculated that Google Maps calculates traffic congestion based upon the amount of phones clustered in one area. His theory turned out to be correct, as all the cell phones were signaling heavy traffic on the empty roads he was walking on. This is quite scary because who knows what data they can collect about us through these devices. Is it a coincidence the word iPhone has I within it, which means the inner self? Our phones are pretty much extensions of our minds. That's how powerful you are. Imagination is the key. Every physical object is born from the imagination. Magi nation. You're a magician. You're a magic nation. You bring thought into physicality. That's how powerful you are. And you must figure out that you are before this physical external reality. You weave your path. You weave your life through the thought and emotion. You are the creator of your reality. You need to take control of it. And if you don't take control of it, the programs they install in your mind will. If you don't control your reality, external reality will control you. Your circumstances are an externalization of your thought. You have thought your way into this reality. Therefore, you must think your way out of your circumstances. Your circumstances. You are the universe. Rivers are veins. Rocks are the bones. Soil is the flesh. The 7 planets are the 7 chakras. They're also on your hand, which I can't talk about on here. You have 5 fingers for the 5 elements. 5 points on the body for the 5 elements you're made out of. The jaw is the earth, water is the mouth, air is the nose, and fire is the eyes, and spirit is the 3rd eye. The sun is your conscious mind. The moon is your subconscious mind, thoughts and emotions. Earth is your body, water is your emotions, fire is your spirit, and air is your mind. This is why the Bible has 4 Gospels to show Jesus in the 4 aspects of human consciousness: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. 12 systems in the body, 12 zodiac signs. Kneecaps for Capricorn, 2 feet are the 2 fish of Pisces. The cerebellum is the cerebellum, the lower brain ruled by Taurus. Cerebram, which is the Lamb of God, which is the Aries. Hips means hippo, which means horse, which is Sagittarius. The 4 seasons of the sun happen inside of you. In summer, we are more happy and we have more energy. In winter, we are more reflective and emotional. It's a soul system, and these cycles happen within your consciousness, not just outside of you. You are the 13th constellation. 13 adds up to 4, the 4 aspects of consciousness. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. They're called organs because they're organisms. Your body's a miniature universe, and you, the consciousness, the mind, are the voice of God. This book will make you feel so much better once you understand this. I will never recover from these images that I've just found. Giants definitely existed. Take a look at the size of these people only around 100 years ago. Now imagine the size of these people around 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. They would have been 10 times bigger than this. The oxygen levels were way higher 1,000 years ago, so just imagine the size of these people. Now what I'm going to show you at the end is going to blow your mind. I think these people were purposely wiped out. Why do we not see them now? What happened to their genetics? Why have they not reached this generation? One thing that you may have not noticed, which is the fashion these people are wearing. Why has humanity lost their sense of beauty and classiness? I have yet to see one obese person in any of these images, which is absolutely crazy. They all look healthy, well-informed, and well-mannered. Humanity has truly lost their ways. Now take a look at this. Maybe this is why the Egyptians showed giant people in their artwork, and maybe their statues were the true size of these humans. I thank you all for being part of this journey. I've now hit 1 million followers on TikTok. There are 3 aspects of your consciousness: thoughts, emotions, and actions. If you align them all towards your goals, you will create the reality that you want. To celebrate, use the code WISDOM for 40% off the Book of Wisdom or anything in the store. Porn is free because you are the product. Releasing too much is making you become mineral deficient. Instead of being a loser, repost my content to earn 50% commission on every sale. My biggest affiliate grew his account from 50k to 264k just by posting my content. He's quite literally financially free off my products. You can sell the Book of Wisdom, the Human Health Guide, Book of Wisdom Volume 2 when it drops on October 8th. You can gain monthly subscription commissions if you get people to join the university. Click the link in my bio, go down to affiliate program, fill in your details, confirm your email, log in, copy and paste this link into your bio, or you can make your own link for each product. Click on it, copy, and go to get product link and copy and paste this link into here, and then click generate. This is your unique affiliate link, which takes you straight to the product that you chose. All of these people are doing the exact same thing and earning an income from their phone. Comment affiliate and I'll send you the link. Everything is red and blue because it symbolizes the physical world. Democrats are blue and Republicans are red. Red tap and a blue tap. A red pill and a blue pill. They want you to believe that this is the real model of the atom because they want you to believe everything is only physical, when in fact everything is holographic, produced by electromagnetic torus fields. The electron, the proton, and the neutron. Magnetism radiates, which creates an electrical vibrational phenomenon. That's why you see electrical patterns everywhere in nature. The spiral outwards is redshift. Spiral back in is blue shift. And these two polarized electromagnetic flows is what gives birth to physical matter. That's why we see red and blue symbolized everywhere. Roses are red, violets are blue. Phi symbol is a torus field. Physical is phi cycle. We live in the cycle of an electromagnetic torus field. You are a giant atom. That's why you have an anatomy. You are an atom. As above, so below. Inside my university, I have a whole section on electromagnetism being made by divine being. He's going to be breaking it down from the basics to the most advanced. If you are serious about studying the occult and the esoteric, then the university is for you. You get a library filled with PDF books on occultism, a section filled with all of my occult lectures, a manifestation mastery course on how consciousness creates reality, and CIA tapes on how to astral project using hemisync methods. Plus, we do live discussions and Q&As. We have students who are live on a daily basis you can connect with. The link is in my bio to stop praying to Jesus. Instead, do this in Mark 11. Whatever ye pray for, believe that you receive them and you shall have them. This is powerful because it tricks your subconscious mind into believing that you have something before you actually have it. And 90% of your actions on a daily basis are the same as yesterday because of the programs in the subconscious. The reason why people's lives are so messed up is because they're praying from a place of negativity, which is tricking their subconscious. They want this. It takes takes everything you say as truth. Why do you think the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated? It's because of the subconscious. Jesus says in John, "In that day you will no longer ask me anything." Because Jesus understood you have the creative power of God of manifesting your own reality. This has even been proven. Your consciousness interacts with an energy grid around you, reflecting your internal states. Essentially, your brain is a supercomputer, simulating a holographic reality, and your thoughts and emotions alter the fabric of reality. When you're not observing something, it exists as a light wave. When your consciousness interacts with it, it collapses it into a particle, into a reality. When Jesus says, "I am the light of the world," it's the "I am within you" is the light of the world. We are all the universe itself experiencing its own reality. Volume 2 will be available soon. Join the email list to be notified when it's available. The Olympic ceremony mocks the Last Supper. After their mocking, everything went down in a power outage. The only thing that remained is this lit up church. Everyone now thinks that Jesus is speaking and now coming back, but this is just another psyop. The Bible even says God's kingdom is in heaven, and then says the kingdom of God is within you, which means heaven and the kingdom of God is a state of mind and consciousness. There is no man in the sky going to save you. God's power of transmuting thought into physical reality is inside of you. The Olympic ceremony was just another psyop to push religion onto the masses so that you externalize your creative power of God. Everything you see physical is an effect of a thought. Everything began as a thought in the divine mind. Therefore, you are a thought in the mind of God, and you yourself possess a microcosm of the mind of God. Every thought you've had in the past has led you to this very point. Therefore, your external world is a projection from the mind. Don't fall for religion. The only religion is within you, and God is inside of you, people. Freemasons wear this symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is for the mother, because the woman holds a portal, a stargate into the physical world. That's why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter, all M's. Once you are made into matter in the womb, she then delivers the male. Every single one of us came through the mother into the physical world. That's why they're so important. Feminine, nin is 9. Masculine, lin is line. 1 and 9 adds up to 10, which is the binary code of all creation. 0 is the cosmic womb. 1 is the masculine pillar. These are the only two numbers that truly exist. That's why man adds up to 10, and so does Adam, because we are made in perfection with the numbers. 6, 9. 6 is physical matter, the cube. 9 is spirit, spirit and matter combined. The woman combines your spirit with your physical body. If you feel lost and don't understand reality, read these books. The devil is the deveiling of your consciousness when your mind is stuck in a physical reality. Lust, food, money, fame, power. This is the devil. Red is the lowest vibrational color on the color spectrum, which corresponds to the surface level of your consciousness. He has goat horns symbolizing an animal. This is the animal nature of human consciousness. Red symbolizes rage, which is the lack of emotional control. Deep down within you, you are the fabric of the universe itself. You have the ability to create, turn thought into physical existence. This pencil was a thought before it was a physical reality. You possess the power of creation. You can use this for good or evil. Do evil is the devil, and God is good. Reptilians do not exist. We're not being controlled by reptiles. There are 3 parts of the brain. The reptilian brain is mainly used when one is using survival needs. This is the instinctual part of your nature. People who control this world are mainly operating in their reptilian brain. It's all a metaphor. It's all scarcity to make you fear. Head is the heaven, earth is the heart, and heel is the hell. These are all states of consciousness. So is God, and so is the devil. The church is a scam. The devil doesn't exist. The devil is your own aspect of your mind, tempting you to engage in low-level pleasures. They keep you stuck in the reptilian part of the brain, the instinctual. Instead, you want to move to the neocortex, where critical thinking takes place. Neo is plugged into the matrix via the reptilian brain on the brainstem, and he wakes up to the neocortex. That's why it's called Neo. Osiris never existed. He represents the reptilian brainstem. That's why he's green. The reptilian brain is always scanning the environment for survival threats. It's the closest brain to the rest of the central nervous system because it does not think. It's instant reactions based on fight or flight mode. The matrix is designed to keep you in your lowest states of consciousness. Eating, lusting, consuming. They don't want you critically thinking using the neocortex. This is the part of the brain that processes higher states of consciousness. There is no shape-shifting lizards controlling the world. Symbolic for the lower mind that they're trapping you in. Join Ethereal University for a library, a manifestation course, lectures, and live Q&As. Dreams carry messages. Dreaming is a low-powered astral projection. You are leaving the physical body, the conscious mind, into the subconscious realms of the astral imagination realm. Astral plane is the screen in your mind that allows you to imagine an apple. If you see Jesus in your dream, this is not Jesus. It is your belief materializing in the fourth dimension, the imagination realm. You know when you have them dreams when people are chasing you? This is a negative aspect of your mind which is materializing itself. All of the trauma, all of the negative events that have happened are stored within your subconscious, and these are materializing itself and showing it to you in your dreams. Everything in your dream is an aspect of your own mind, therefore it is showing you messages. If you cannot control your dreams, this is your subconscious controlling the dream. You can't control your dreams because you think it's just a dream, when it's not. It's actually a whole other reality. You are a multi-dimensional consciousness. You must remove the program of it's just a dream. Before you go to sleep, consciously think and feel and believe that you will control your dream. Throughout the day, you need to be doing reality checks by pinching yourself and saying, am I dreaming? This will train your subconscious mind to say this while you are dreaming, and when you pinch yourself in your dream, you will become lucid. Once you are lucid, you can then go gain knowledge and do whatever you want in the realms of the mind. Whatever you do, never look into a mirror. Red fruit is for energy and vitality. Purple and blue fruit is for relaxation because it's high in antioxidants. Green fruit is for the digestive system and detoxification. Orange and yellow is for the brain. Whatever feeling you have is your internal guidance system. And if you know the colors of food, you can use this for your advantage. Your pits is not meant to smell. Your breath is not meant to smell. You're not meant to have runny noses. You're not meant to have smelly farts or smelly poos. This is all unnatural food seeping through your skin. We all have a natural odor for our bodies. However, we should not be smelling, and it should not smell horrible. If you have any of these signs, you need to go on a fruit-only cleanse for at least a month and start to fast and remove all of this toxic waste within the body. If you are not removing waste from the body, it means it's accumulating within the body, and accumulated waste can turn into diseases. If you are eating 3 times a day, you should be going to the toilet 3 times a day. If not, it is accumulating and building waste within the body. Jesus never existed. Jesus represents the sun with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, which are the 4-fold nature of a human being. Aquarius is air, which is your mind, your mental body. Scorpio is water, which is your emotional body. Taurus is earth, which is your physical body. Leo is fire, which is your spiritual body. Matthew is Aquarius, which is air, the mental body of consciousness. Matthew portrays Jesus as intellectual and communicative, which is the nature of air, your mental body. Mark is the lion, which is Leo, the fire. Gospel of Mark shows Jesus with passion and divine leadership and power. Mark depicts Jesus as the Son of God, which is spirituality and inspiration. Luke is Taurus, which is the earth element, the physical body. Luke portrays Jesus as the man, service, and compassion. Luke emphasizes Jesus' concern for physical and material needs of others. Gospel of John is Scorpio, which is water, the emotional aspect of our consciousness. John shows Jesus doing miracles and shows Jesus as intuitive and transformative. These 4 Gospels represent the 4 aspects of human consciousness. Jesus is the sun, which represents your soul. 12 disciples around the one. 12 zodiacs around the sun. These are energies of your consciousness. As within, so without. Everything outside of you is inside of you. The truth is always hidden in plain sight. Who remembers playing hopscotch as a child? You're probably wondering what this tree represents. It's the descent of manifestation. All creation begins as an emanation from the mind, thought. From subtle, thought unfolds into spirit and then descends into matter. You are not the body, you are the divine mind. Your whole life you've been bringing thought into physical reality, Malkuth. You come from heaven, which is the higher realms of consciousness, and you descended into physical reality. Luke 10:18. I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning. Here's heaven, here's the flash of lightning. It's the manifestation of mind into matter. You represent Satan, a fallen state of consciousness, because matter is the lowest state of consciousness. 10 spheres, 22 different pathways, and 1 dath, which adds up to 33. Jesus is the body, the Christ is the divine mind within you, and you manifested through this 33 segments of this tree into Malkuth. You died on the cross, which is your body, and got the 5 wounds, the 5 senses of the physical universe, Malkuth. You came from spirit to matter. Now you got to go from matter to spirit through spiritual awakening, mental transmutation, and love. Christians knew about it, and it's even on your hands. Hopscotch is a game which represents the path back to source, back to God. Book of Wisdom Volume 2, nearly ready, people. They've lied to you about geometry. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Physical matter is just low vibrating energy at a specific frequency. Everything is vibration, vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates a different geometric pattern. Everything contains geometry. They tell you this is God's mathematical codes behind this reality. The true geometry is within you, and I'm going to explain it in a minute. Firstly, you need to understand the brain is an energy decelerator. Nothing around you is physical, it's energy, and your brain condenses it into a reality that you can interact with. Light enters the eyes, it turns into electricity and goes to the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and it creates an image in the brain. Therefore, you are not in the world is within your brain and body. You're experiencing a simulation by your nervous system. Therefore, geometry is actually your brain's mathematical codes on turning energy into matter. These geometric patterns is basically your brain's way of decoding energy. Everything they teach you is external to keep you looking outside yourself, but it's all internal. You are God in human form. The problem with the world is that we lack understanding of who we are, and what we are doing in this physical reality. Religion is just a way to externalize the God inside of you into someone else that you can worship to give away your power. Jesus and Satan are aspects of your consciousness, the higher mind and the lower mind. They just made a character out of it. Take a look at this. A TV presenter accidentally did the Baphomet symbol. This was done live on television, but there is something more to this symbol. The Baphomet is good, it's not evil. Religion has miseducated you to think it's evil. I'm going to break this down to you from top to bottom so that you can gain an understanding. First of all, symbols speak to your subconscious mind. Symbols activate thoughts in the invisible realms of mind. Symbols are keys to understand higher things. This symbol can be used for good and the bad. The goat is a ground animal, represents the lower self, the ego. The wings are an air animal, represents the higher self, the elevated state. The dome he's sitting on is the earth element. The fish scales on the stomach are the water element. We have the fire element, also representing human enlightenment, the higher self, and the kundalini. The wings also represent the air element. As above, so below. What happens in the mind happens in your external reality. The moon represents emotion, the feminine aspect of your consciousness. The moon is either on top of you, ruling your body, or you are standing on top of the moon, controlling your emotions. This is not the devil horns. It represents the lower self, the moon controlling you, your emotions. He's male and female, representing polarity of the physical plane, left and right. The Baphomet is a symbol which symbolizes the transformation from the lower mind to the higher mind, to a sleep to awakened and enlightenment. I have a whole new book of wisdom coming soon which will explain absolutely everything in detail.